When you see 3 people or more that come to you and they greet you, these are your friends, and you see 3 people in a row, the first one smells like fish when they greet you. I'm sorry, I have to use fish. Makes sense. How do you feel? Are we talking about men, no females? No females. We're talking fish and we're talking about men, no females. First one greets you, Roberts. Hey, Roberts, how you doing? Smells like fish. Roberts leaves. A few minutes later, you meet Lucas. Hey, Lucas, good to see you, my man. Smells like fish too. Number 3, you meet Daniel, or Uche, or Tabiso, or whatever name you want to choose. Hey, my friend, how you doing today? Doing great. Good to see you, man. It smells like fish. Maybe they were together somewhere. How come they all smell like fish? That's a good question you're going to ask yourself logically, right? Now, this has nothing to do with fish. The Cameroonian government has announced on Wednesday the adoption of measures to caution the country from the resurgence of COVID-19 cases observed in some European and Middle Eastern countries. Interesting fellas. The Cameroonian government has just cautioned people to be careful and has announced they're going to take measures against COVID-19. Well, it's interesting. We're talking about fish. A few days ago, we said Senegal implemented drastic measures against COVID. Then we spoke about Togo. Togo followed through with COVID issues. Then now Cameroon has followed through. What do they have in common? Cameroon, Togo, and Senegal. They're all African countries. Okay, beyond African countries, what do they have in common? They all went somewhere. They all went to France a few days ago to go and talk to the French president about accelerating measures in order to get money, about $1 billion, to build a fast-track vaccine creation platform in Africa. So the Cameroonian government says in a statement that all travelers arriving from foreign countries shall be required to systematically fill out identification form at the airport. Testing is being reintroduced at airport, but it is currently prioritized for travelers returning from Mecca. Okay, let's get back on track. A few days ago, in Mecca, in Saudi Arabia, many people went to pray. Many Muslims go to Mecca to pray and go into a special program called Hajj. This program is one of the biggest pillars of Islam. As a decent Muslim, a good Muslim, you have to go to Mecca at least once in your lifetime. So many people try whatever they can with the little money they have to go to Mecca at least once in life. Now, we know that in Mecca something very drastic happened a few days ago. About 1,300 people were deleted, and they were trying to find out why were they deleted, what happened. Some people say it was because of the heat. The place is very hot. Saudi Arabia is a very hot place. You know, temperatures can reach up to 50, 52 degrees, and we're talking about Celsius degrees. That's very hot, centigrade. Now, some other people say it wasn't the heat. Some people say the deleting was due to a respiratory disease. Okay, something with the lungs. Clearly after that, Senegalese that went to Mecca for the same purpose, going back to their country, were stopped at the airport and tested. Now, apparently, the majority of people tested in Senegal tested positive to that. Okay, so in Saudi Arabia, it's the heat. In Senegal, it's the virus. I'm just saying. In Saudi Arabia, it's the heat. In Senegal, it's the virus. Then after that, Senegal took measures. Now people are wearing face masks in Senegal airports. Like at the time, you remember. Then a few days after, Togo followed through. The West African country is a very cultural country. Beautiful place, lovely people. The majority believe in animism or voodoo. But 18% of Togolese are Muslim. So Togo also sent people to Mecca to go pray for religious purposes. They are expecting them to be back. About 2,500 Togolese people are right now in Mecca praying. They're expecting them to return on the 3rd of July. So Togo has implemented measures already. They're waiting for them. If they test positive, they're going to be quarantined. And now the Cameroonian government has followed through. So they're implementing measures for people that are coming back. And everybody traveling to Cameroon, things are back to what they were in 2020. All right, fellas, I think we need to think about this very clearly. We're not being crazy, are we? Are we being crazy or something? Testing is being reintroduced at airports. Measures that were previously implemented at the peak of COVID-19 infection are being reinstated, including wearing masks in case of flu-like symptoms, so no more flu, it's COVID, hand hygiene, and regular disinfection of common areas. I guess companies that produce sanitizer are going to make billions of dollars again. Finally, the government states that it has the necessary capacity to detect cases and provide free care throughout the territory. I think we need to be aware of things that are happening throughout the continent. And I know the majority of people don't see these little things, okay? We focus on big problems, economics and war in Russia. These are things that are happening right now. It is happening. First it was Senegal, then Togo, then Cameroon. They all attended a meeting in France a few days ago, meeting the French president, and have a discussion on how to raise fund about $1 billion to build a facility in Africa, a facility that produces fast vaccine for Africans. Because apparently, as per the French president, who feels sorry for Africans, he's a good man, feeling sorry for Africans, when COVID-19 erupted, there was an issue with Africa because Africans could not produce vaccines for Africans. Most African countries were waiting for help coming from different countries, different regions, from America or Europe. And unfortunately, at the time, powerful countries such as the United States bought a big portion of vaccines, leaving the rest of the world in distress, unable to protect their citizens. So because they feel sorry for Africans, now they had to raise money for Africans so Africans can build their own vaccine center in Africa in case there's a next pandemic. Not even in case, that's just being preventive of the next pandemic that's going to happen, because they say it's going to happen. The question we ask ourselves here is that if they have the ability to see pandemics coming, why didn't they see COVID-19 coming? That's a weird question. Why didn't they see COVID-19? Now they can see pandemics are coming. Now, this is scary, okay? What's happened in that meeting in France? That's the question we're asking. Because we already know Emmanuel Macron is a good man. He's a good-looking young president. He's a decent human being. But he doesn't like people that make many babies, okay? And I'm not inventing this. He said it. Listen.
Quand vous êtes un pays pauvre, où vous laissez la démographie galopante, vous avez 7-8 enfants par femme, vous ne sortez jamais de la pauvreté. Parce que même quand vous avez un taux de croissance de 5 ou 6%, vous n'arrivez jamais à en sortir.
And I'm sorry you have to put him on the spot because this is what he said. He doesn't like many babies, but he likes Africans. He wants Africa to move forward, like he said. Africa cannot grow economically if you're making 6, 7, and 8 babies.
Kama yampa abana, ana mubana. Nganzala abana basatu, babiri, bana. Nina muno oluzalo lw'abataano.
Now I'm worried because I want to make 11 babies. Is there space for people like myself? I don't know. There's nothing. Is there anything wrong with me wanting to have 11 babies if I can afford them? Like, I can't afford them. Like, what's wrong? I want to come back home happy and see my kids jump on me. Papa, papa, pulling my leg, pulling my shirt. Papa, I want that. It's lovely. I mean, I come from a big family myself. Not 11, but it was good to see brothers. If somebody beat you in the street, you can call your brother to go fight for you. You got sisters, you know what I mean? I know me and my brother never really spoke about boyfriend and girlfriend stories, you know. I would have wanted to have somebody like that to teach me things about life, you know. And I feel like Africans don't do it really well. We don't talk to each other, and it's very sad, especially about intimate stuff. And it's like, you're too small for me. I can't be talking about that with you. It's crazy. We need to break that. It's insane because what are the consequences? People end up going in the street to go learn crazy things in the street. And unfortunately, the things you learn in the street are not good for you. Anyway, I want 11 children. Is there space for us? But I know there's vaccine for my future 11 children already being discussed in France. How do you feel about that? First Senegal, followed by Togo, now Cameroon. What do they have in common? They all speak French. They are French-speaking countries. My question is this one. Why isn't Saudi Arabia quarantined? Or, you know, if they all came from Mecca and that's where the situation is coming from, why isn't Saudi Arabia doing anything about it? Why haven't they put face masks? I mean, I'm just asking. I mean, are they immune to it? I'm just asking. Or it's psychological disease? I'm just asking. Like, if it comes from Saudi Arabia, they should be doing something about it right now. But now, okay, if other countries are reacting, I don't know. You tell me how you feel about this. And again, Mecca is a place where people come from all over the place, all over the world. Each country sends people in Mecca every single year. Now, where are the English-speaking countries who go to Mecca? Why haven't they started implementing drastic measures against COVID? I'm just asking. Let me know how you feel about this. It's always a pleasure. God bless.